The UK is in freefall. Towns gutted, high streets dead, families running, and nobody is talking about it. But while the rest of the country crumbles, a few towns are exploding with growth, investment, and opportunity. These are the ones you need to know. Starting with number 10. Number 10, Warrington. Warrington is somewhere most people write off as a motorway junction between Manchester and Liverpool. If you have driven past it on the M6, you probably gave it no second thought. That is a serious mistake, because right now Warrington is quietly becoming one of the most strategically important towns in the north of England. Warrington sits at the centre of the Northwest Economic Corridor, 30 minutes from Manchester and 40 minutes from Liverpool. That location is being supercharged by Northern powerhouse rail. The government has confirmed Warrington Bank Quay Station as a key hub, a new low-level station linking Liverpool and Manchester. Business leaders say this single development could unlock thousands of new jobs and make Warrington one of England's most connected towns within the decade. Over £1 billion of regeneration is currently in progress. The Fiddler's Ferry site is being transformed into a sustainable community. The Causeway at St James Business Centre is a digital innovation hub. The Pyramid Theatre is becoming a premier cultural venue. At Omega South, one of the country's largest commercial development sites, major progress is underway. Rental yields are already outperforming many larger northern cities. Cost of living remains far more manageable than Manchester or Liverpool. This is a town with serious momentum. Number 9. Luton. Luton has spent years being overlooked and written off. That is precisely why the scale of what is being built there right now should stop you in your tracks. In December 2025, Luton Council unveiled its economic growth strategy for 2025 to 2032. The headline figures are remarkable: a £5 billion investment pipeline, a £1.7 billion town centre regeneration master plan already underway, a target of 23,000 new jobs across high-value sectors, £500 million of additional annual economic output by 2032, and 2,000 new green jobs built around the low-carbon economy. Then there is the airport. London Luton Airport is the most important employer in the region, with employment reaching a record 12,100 jobs, 84% of them full-time. A proposed expansion would add a second terminal, generating an estimated £1.5 billion in additional annual economic benefits. Jobs created are expected to pay 34% above the national average wage. The town is 22 minutes from London by rail and sits close to the Oxford-Cambridge Growth Corridor, one of the most economically powerful innovation zones in Europe. The investment is real, the jobs are coming, the window to get ahead of it is still open. Number 8. Swansea. Wales gets overlooked in these conversations. People focus on Cardiff or ignore Wales entirely, but Swansea is in the middle of a £1 billion regeneration programme, and it is starting to show. The Swansea Arena has opened, a stunning waterfront venue giving the city a cultural anchor it previously lacked. Historic buildings like the Albert Hall and the Palace Theatre are being restored. The Kingsway and Wynn Street have received major upgrades. Castle Square is being revamped. A new public sector hub forms part of Copper Bay Phase 2. According to PwC's Good Growth for Cities report, the number of businesses in Swansea has risen steadily for 5 years. The council's Invest in Swansea initiative is actively attracting UK and global investment. Full-time weekly earnings rose by 7.1% between April 2024 and April 2025, above both the Welsh and UK average. The average home costs around £206,000, nearly 24% below the UK average. Combine that affordability with serious investment, a revived cultural scene, and access to the Gower Peninsula, one of the most beautiful stretches of coastline in Britain, and Swansea presents a quality of life genuinely difficult to match anywhere else in England or Wales. Derby is the birthplace of the British Railway and home to some of the most significant engineering businesses in the country. Right now, it is proving that cities with serious industrial heritage do not have to become museum pieces. The East Midlands Combined County Authority recently allocated over £3 million in new funding to Derby for inward investment and economic growth in the 2025 to 2026 financial year. Derby's economy is anchored by world-class employers. Rolls-Royce, one of the most prestigious engineering companies on the planet, has its global headquarters here. Toyota's UK manufacturing plant operates nearby. The rail industry maintains a major presence through companies like Alstom. These are global institutions providing stable, well-paid employment to tens of thousands of people, and they are not going anywhere. The city's population is growing. New housing developments are under construction. The tech and digital sector is expanding, diversifying Derby's economy beyond its manufacturing roots. For someone looking for a city that combines job security, industrial heritage, growing housing options and a cost of living that does not punish you for existing, Derby is worth serious consideration. It has the bones of a great city, and it is building its future firmly on top of them. Ipswich has had a rough reputation for years, but reputations are built on the past. Ipswich is firmly building something new. In October 2023, nearly £8 million of government funding was approved to develop the town centre and tackle empty retail space. Plans were confirmed for a major new development, 173 new homes, restaurants, shops and bars between the River Gipping and Cardinal Park. A £2.28 million Towns Fund project is also restoring the historic former grain house and anchoring waterfront regeneration. In 2020, Ipswich was the only UK destination on TripAdvisor's list of the world's top emerging destinations. The waterfront, once neglected, is now one of the most exciting development zones in the east of England. Direct trains run to Norwich, Cambridge and London Liverpool Street. The town sits near the Suffolk coast, giving residents access to seaside towns and a quality of outdoor life that many in the Midlands or North would find extraordinary. PwC's data identified Ipswich as one of the locations forecast for some of the strongest growth in the country, rising to 1.9% in 2025. That is genuine structural momentum. Get there before everyone else notices. Before we get to the top 5, and you do not want to miss number 1, if you find this content genuinely useful, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week we dig into the places, the trends, and the facts that matter for people making real decisions about where to live and where to build their futures. Subscribe now. You will not regret it. Number 5. Swindon. Go ahead and laugh. But while you are laughing, Swindon has placed itself in the top 5 highest performing cities in the entire UK, according to PwC's 2025 Good Growth for Cities Index. Top 5 in the whole country. The 2025 Local Economic Assessment confirms Swindon contributes £11.5 billion in gross value added to the UK economy. The council leader has highlighted town centre regeneration and the potential at Panatoni Park, a major logistics and business site, as key drivers of inward investment and high-quality job creation in the years ahead. Swindon sits on the M4 corridor, with fast rail connections to London Paddington in under an hour, and easy access to Bristol, Bath, Oxford and Reading. On PwC's 2025 index, Swindon scored above average across most of its 12 indicators. Housing scores were average, which in a national context of acute affordability pressure is genuinely positive news. For someone wanting to be within striking distance of London without London prices, with a strong employment base and a town investing in its own future, Swindon is operating at a level its old reputation simply does not reflect. The data says it plainly, this town is thriving. Preston became a city in 2002 with a long industrial history in the heart of Lancashire, and right now Preston is one of the most underrated economic stories in the entire north of England. Property investment is booming. Bishopgate Gardens, a conversion of a former government office building, is creating 130 new homes alongside retail space in the city centre. Preston City Council and Lancashire County Council are working in tandem to improve infrastructure, attract business and increase office capacity. Preston ranked 15th out of all 50 UK cities in PwC's 2025 Good Growth for Cities Index. It sits at the intersection of the M6, the M55 and the M65 motorways, one of the most strategically located cities in Lancashire. The University of Central Lancashire, one of the largest in the UK, brings tens of thousands of students into the city each year, creating a constant ecosystem of talent, spending and entrepreneurial energy. Graduate retention rates are improving as local employers expand. Preston remains extraordinarily affordable, with average house prices well below the national average. The window of opportunity is still open, but it is closing fast. Number 3. Hull. Hull doesn't shout about itself. It gets on with things quietly, stoically, with a stubborn pride that anyone who has spent time there will recognise immediately. And right now, Hull is in the middle of a transformation the rest of the country is only just beginning to notice. Over £96 million of regeneration projects are currently underway. The legacy of being UK City of Culture between 2013 and 2017 fundamentally changed Hull's relationship with arts, creativity and civic identity. New venues, public art installations and cultural institutions took root and have continued to grow ever since. Hull's port on the Humber estuary makes it one of the most important maritime and trade hubs in the country. With the offshore wind sector expanding at pace, Hull is positioning itself as a key industry base. Siemens Gamesa's offshore wind blade manufacturing facility has created hundreds of well-paid, skilled jobs. As the UK moves toward its clean energy targets, Hull is an active participant in one of the most significant industrial transformations in British economic history. PwC's Good Growth for Cities data shows Hull improving by 7 places in the national rankings. Housing remains extraordinarily affordable, while rental demand builds as employers arrive. For someone wanting space, affordability, community, stunning coastline, and the satisfaction of being part of a place genuinely going somewhere, Hull deserves your serious attention. Number 2. Edinburgh has always been considered a world-class city. But in 2025, something extraordinary happened. It overtook London in GDP per head for the first time in history. A Scottish city surpassed the capital of the United Kingdom on one of the most fundamental measures of economic output. Let that sink in. PwC described this milestone as reflecting long-established strengths in financial services and higher education, alongside newer specialisms in life sciences and technology. In a single year, the city secured 27 foreign direct investment projects. Its research base is among the strongest in Europe. Edinburgh climbed to second place overall in PwC's 2025 Good Growth for Cities Index, scoring outstandingly across high street, skills and work-life balance. The Edinburgh Fringe, the largest performance arts festival in the world, drives jobs and spending across the entire city. The council's housing strategy commits to ensuring 35% of all new homes are affordable. For anyone over 45 with the flexibility to consider Scotland, whether relocating, downsizing or reimagining the next chapter, Edinburgh is operating at a level very few cities in the British Isles can match. Number 1, and this one is official. In September 2025, PwC and Demos published their annual Good Growth for Cities Index, the most respected ranking of UK cities, and the city that topped the entire list, climbing 6 places, was York. Not London, not Manchester, not Edinburgh, York. The index assessed 50 of the UK's largest cities across 12 key indicators: income distribution, safety, work-life balance, health, jobs, housing, environment, transport, high streets, skills and new business creation. York scored strongly across virtually every single one. Let's talk about the high street, because this is where York genuinely sets itself apart. According to the Centre for Cities, York is the only place in the entire country where total visitor spending in the city centre exceeds total residential spending. York's high street is not just surviving the collapse of retail that is gutting towns across the rest of the UK, it is thriving. It is the second busiest in the country outside Edinburgh. Independence, markets, craft businesses, restaurants, the fabric of a living, breathing city centre. That is the result of deliberate, sustained investment in public space and independent retail. York's success is not just tourism and heritage. The government announced a new civil service hub to be established in York. York Central, one of the largest brownfield regeneration projects in the country, adjacent to the main railway station, is set to deliver thousands of new well-paid jobs, affordable housing and high-quality public space right in the heart of the city. Northern Powerhouse Rail will reconnect York to Leeds, Manchester, Liverpool and beyond. The strategic economic plan targets 36,000 additional jobs and £3.7 billion of additional economic output by 2036. Crime rates are low, green spaces are plentiful, community ties are strong. The data is clear, the ranking is official, the investment is confirmed. If there is one place in the United Kingdom right now that has earned the right to be called genuinely, demonstrably, measurably thriving, it is York. So there you have it, 10U. K-towns and cities not waiting for permission to grow. While so much of this country struggles, while high streets close, while families move away, while investment dries up in town after town, these places are proving that the right combination of infrastructure, ambition and strategic planning can change the trajectory of an entire community. If you found this useful, if it gave you something to think about, if it helped you see the UK map a little differently, hit that subscribe button right now. We are here every week with the kind of research and analysis that actually matters to people making real decisions about real lives. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. We will see you soon in the next one.